Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
But
Then
I
it
love that they went to play tourist. They looked for something to do to try to, liven things up for them and wear themselves out. So they're like, let's go be tourists. And that is such a fun thing to do. Like I've
You're
done
so
that
weird. You
before.
are so weird. You are so weird. I need a minute. I need a moment. You are so weird. Okay, let me tell you why I think she's weird. I need another moment. Kellie is weird because by all the years that I've known her, she's like very strong. And it's like, I don't want to do that, like women strong, but like takes care of business, tells you what she thinks, ultimate fun when you're partying, ultimate work hard when she's got shit to do. And then all of a sudden, every blue moon, you come up with these things that are like the corny side of life. And there goes Kellie to the front of the line. And I'm like, this doesn't match up. She tells me on this show, she tells me, oh, I like Disneyland on my birthday. Kellie, you don't even like fucking people.
I don't.
So why do you like Disneyland? And now Disneyland. And so now you're proclaiming to tell me that you like touristy things as a fun hobby? I could never. Tell me more. Go. I don't even
Not
understand you.
necessarily the touristy thing as a hobby, but the doing something silly with your significant other. I find that to be fun. Pulling yourselves out of your everyday life, doing something different that is so out of character for the two of you, and it's just being silly together and a little bit over the top. I think that just adds a little spice to life, Just kind of not taking everything so serious. That's what I mean. It can be anything, but just doing something you wouldn't normally do just to change it up a little bit. Because, shit gets boring,
She's too.
especially when you're always
No.
just working, just going to dinner,
No.
like, what else can you do besides just go to have dinner and a drink? Get creative, do other stuff. Whether, it's like running around town and look, they meet this wacky ass, crazy, uh, couple that's on a
Couple.
paid vacation.
That's not. Yeah, not a couple.
Mhm.
She was working, and it was
Yeah. But
not
hey,
not
whatever floats your boat, right?
yeah, but okay. Beyond that, so you just like the idea of just going with the flow. That's so weird to me.
Sometimes I can't do that all the time, but
Yeah.
every now and then when, life gets a little stale, it's kind of fun to change it up to remind yourself to be appreciative of where you are or even a little bit of a readjustment.
Okay,
Because maybe you're in a, yeah.
let me get to it. Okay, so you're the couple. You're having trouble sleeping. You see the other couple, which we turned out they weren't necessarily a couple in the traditional sense that we had thought, as far as what Billy had thought,
Mhm.
and that's fine. And you're saying just go with it, and that could kind of like ease the tension. Is that what you're saying? I
Well,
want.
no, not for that. Like, don't go with something you're not really into. But I'm talking about the being out in the world, talking to people you wouldn't normally talk to. Like, even to get to that point, like they usually don't like people, so they're not being friendly. Like John Joe like pulls him over and is like, "Hi, I'm so and so from wherever," and it just like making it fun,
Oh,
getting getting out of yourself a little bit.
so this is kind of like when they went to New Jersey and they sort of
Yes.
adopted these other personalities because what was working back home, back home wasn't
Yeah.
working, and they were like, "Oh my god, we're totally scoring over here."
Totally. It's just
Oh,
making things a little different, just changing up because sometimes, you get on this path of, whatever and it can, it's just changing it up a little bit can be good for the mind and the soul. Just make you look at life a little different and from someone else's perspective and be like, shit, well, at least our relationship isn't that bad.
it was funny though.
Where I have to go pay somebody to go on vacation with me because I hate you.
Well,
So
I
it's
mean,
like,
that's come on, hey,
I
come
mean,
on,
that's
come on.
extreme, but you know
Yes,
what I'm
yes,
saying?
yes.
It just kind of like,
It was fun. It was fun because it had them over accentuate all these things that you would
right.
just never be around or want to touch, and in a very corny way. And you're right on that degree. I could see it. I could see it a little bit. I was just
But
very
yes, I
shocked by
do
that.
have these really crazy, corny little things that I do like to do every now and then. Like, I love my Hallmark movies and I can sit and watch them on the weekends and be totally happy doing that. It's crazy.
I I have a couple too. Mine are like I could do the not trick or treating, but the like the jingle jam lane or whatever, walking through with the hot chocolate and Christmas carols. I would be okay with that, I suppose. I don't know.
Okay.
This is just so funny because our show is rooted in as grumpy as Billy and as grumpy as
Right.
Julie. And
Mhm.
then now we're a bunch of pansy asses talking about
Well,
Disneyland.
sometimes having some little corny shit is fun to be silly, even if you're making fun of it. It's still a little something different. There's just, it's just going to the complainers, right? There's just so much more to things than just complaining. And don't get me wrong, I am like one of the first ones to sit and talk a bunch of shit about whatever. But then sometimes you kind of have to readjust your mentality. And that's what I thought was fun about them trying that. They're trying to figure out how can we fix this because we're so good together in other ways. Like this cannot be the deal breaker. So we
Yeah,
got to figure it out.
it was worrisome for Billy. I could see it
Yeah.
was like really like a nerve-wracking thing because
Yeah.
it's like I really like him. Um interesting stuff we get out of this show. And I learn about you. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.